Okay. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi. Okay. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Not good morning. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Agnes from Student Affairs Department of Segi College Kuala Lumpur. Thank you for joining us today. So, before I start, I would like to sound check if you can hear me. I have a comment section. You can write it down that you can hear my voice. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Let us go through one more video and wait for our audience to join. Okay, so, and I see you later again. Everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Agnes from Student Affairs Department. Hold on. Okay. Today, our topic is career experience sharing with digital marketing. So, Before I start, I hope everyone know we have a comment section. So if you have any question you want to ask our speaker, we would like you to comment there. So, okay, let's start for today. Okay, today our honors to have a speaker from JobStreet with us. Today is Mr. Calvin. Okay, let me add him in. All right. Hi, Calvin.
Hi everyone. Hi Agnes.
Hi. So Calvin is today is the second time who joined us to give a talk about career. So yeah, Calvin, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And thank you, Agnes. I want to say thank you to you for inviting me again back on this segment. And I must say that was a good video earlier you played. That was actually really interesting.
Thank you. This is our new video with the new our logo, red color logo for our Segi College KL. So most of the audience if you have joining us our the first time with JobStreet. So today is our part 2. We will talk about the digital marketing field. So like COVID-19, a lot of business we are changing into virtual event, also virtually. A lot of business changing to that digital way. So today we will most focus on the digital marketing. So that Karen, can you introduce yourself so that audience can know your background?
Okay, sure. Thanks again, Agnes. So I'm Kelvin, and of course I'm with JobStreet currently. But so throughout my career, I've actually been in digital marketing, and my main strength would be in social media. So I look after a lot of social media channels before. So I've been in FMCG industries all the way to insurance industries, and now job portal industry as well. So yeah, so throughout the journey, I think I've had a lot of opportunities as well to touch base and learn about I mean, being in different industries, you get to learn about the industries a bit more, so you get to understand the ins and outs, and it just provides you generally a broader knowledge on different industries and how it works.
May I know how long you are in this industry? Do you count
Yeah,
for?
so I've been here. I've been in this industry for, I mean, I've been in digital marketing for about 6 years now. But being in industry specific, again, I've been moving around industry. So, I mean, in this particular industry, probably about a year. Yeah.
Mm. Do you mind to telling us how you across to this digital marketing? Which means
Sure.
last time. Mhm.
Yeah, so good. Actually, really interesting one. I actually stumbled across it by accident, I would say. Well, because I started off in I actually started off in like as an instructor for inline skating, yeah, rollerblading. So when I was there, part of the team, I was the youngest one there. So they said, oh, generally young people know how to do social media. So they basically threw the social media part to me. So I took care of the e-commerce. I took care of the social media pages. So along the way, I had to learn. I, of course, I had to read up. Google was my best friend, is still my best friend now. So yeah, so I just stumbled across it. I mean, it was thrown to me, and then I was thinking, hey, this could be a career path for me, and I decided to research more into it, and yeah, and next thing led to another, and here I am now, 6 years later, still in the same field.
Yeah, I believe now because the COVID-19, most of the people are using, when we lock down in the house, we also need the digital, need the technology to help us to connect with other people.
Yeah, definitely.
So we won't let us start. The main question is, in the beginning is, what is digital marketing?
Okay, so digital marketing is actually,
Mhm.
it's actually as it sounds, as it is digital marketing. So it is actually the use of internet, mobile devices, social media, search engines, or other, digital channels that you reach out to consumers. So in terms of, digital marketing, there are several areas. So a lot of people might just think social media is just one aspect. Is digital marketing. They're not wrong, but it's actually just a one component of many other components in digital marketing. So there's search engine optimization, there's content marketing, there's advertising like pay per click. So all the ads that you see on websites, on Facebook even, those are also part of digital marketing. Even marketing automation, so sort of like email marketing. So, and all these things are all basically how you use the different channels to reach out to your consumer.
Mm.
Yeah.
Audience, I would like to tell the audience, this career experience sharing is based on our own personal view. It's not really come from which fact or which textbook. It's based on our view or our opinion to give the question answer. Okay, I hope because most of the audience, they will say, oh, no, yes, yes, yes. So I believe, I hope audience will understand today is more on our career experience sharing. Okay, so yes, digital marketing, like Kevin said, yeah, we are using a lot of components. So the second question, what's the difference between traditional marketing and the digital marketing?
So the difference between these two is actually just basically the medium which audiences encounters a marketing message. So, for example, if you talk about traditional marketing, you're talking about things that are sort of like magazines, newspapers, TV advertisements, billboards, and whatnot. So those are traditional sort of mediums where people used to use sort of advertise their product or their brands. Whereas for digital, again, like I mentioned earlier, there's social media, website, emails, and so on. So these are all different channels and mediums for them to use. But I guess today, both are equally important, right? So there's no, there are main differences, but again, a lot of marketers are actually adopting both traditional and digital to help push their brand and push their marketing messages out.
Mm. So, Kevin say, we know both is important, but I believe they have differentiate about that. So, what is exactly digital marketing do? Can you share more about the step? Maybe what is the thing we really need on the digital way? Mm-hmm.
So so digital marketing. So for most part of my role is it's a lot on supporting the main company's objective or the main company's campaign when they have it, right. So of course it involves a lot of monitoring. We have to consistently check and monitor the progress of our campaign. So typically the start of the project, what we really do is we first need to identify what's the objective of the whole project, right. So we have to identify what is required, what are the ultimate conversions that we are looking for, and then after that we have to sit down and strategize. So as I explained earlier, there are a lot of channels and other avenues in digital marketing. So which sort of channel and which sort of approach is the best to use for that specific objective that we have identified. And then of course depending on which strategy we are adopting, then it comes into either content creation. So content creation is actually key in digital marketing. As with any marketing, actually content is really king here. And then of course if the budget allows, then we'll set up for ad boosting. And then again, like I mentioned, it's a lot of monitoring, it's a lot of constant changing. So we have to sort of look at it in real time. We have to look at it and see if the strategy or the objectives meet um, the current results that we are looking for. If not, then we have to again pivot and change and re-strategize again. So so at the end of the day, then we provide a report, then we will see what are the things we can improve on. And I think this is the beauty of digital marketing, where everything is you are able to track everything. So you are able to tell whether you are doing well, you're performing well, or or you need to change certain things. And yeah, so that's typically what digital marketing do on a campaign basis, let's say. Yeah.
Can I give an example? Let's say we want to promote a bottle, one of the bottle. So when we need to post it in the social media, like Kevin say, the key of the content. So which means the content is the caption. Maybe it's the caption. Maybe it's the poster. So that social media, the people look at Facebook, look at some apps on that. Then you can trace after the audience, maybe the consumer. Is it? You need to track and you need to do the report, and you know how your product is it reached to your consumer. Is it in that way?
Yes, correct. I think you sum it up pretty well. Yes, but there are a lot of other metrics that we look at. So, for example, if we want to drive, our consumers to our website, we are also able to track, how effective does this. For example, if we post up this picture, does this picture actually drive people to the website, or another picture would more likely drive them there? So it's a lot of testing and experimenting as well.
So I think the next question is for this. Would you think would that the person need to very active on social media then only can do the digital marketing, or is depend?
I think it's good to be really active on social media, because then you're able to see what's happening. At the end of the day, I think being in digital marketing, more so to social media, right? You are actually very in touch with the trends that is happening, and what really drives people, what really engages with people, and there's this term called real-time marketing, and this is very crucial in social media to be able to reach out to your audience, right? So I mean, while it's good, I mean, you don't have to be really active. All you have to do is just, you probably need to read up on latest trends and whatnot. The other thing is, being creative is also good, because again, as I explained earlier, in digital marketing, you craft a lot of content, you come up with a lot of contents. So being creative in that aspect is also good, um, for someone who wants to come into this field. The other thing is someone who is analytical, because this is important, because at the end of the day, everything is being tracked, everything is about data. So you need to be able to spot trends based and behaviors based on data. So yeah, so these are some of the things that people, or some of the traits that is required, but of course not necessary.
I believe yes, it's not necessary you really active, but because now we can see a lot of certificate or the courses for the digital marketing to help the people from 0 to 100. So what are the other party or professional that you work closely with? Which means yes, we have the course, we have the person who learning from 0 to 10, but Kelvin, do you have any party or professional that you work closely in your digital marketing?
Yeah, so in digital marketing, because we have a lot of aspects to cover, so a lot of times, I mean, although it is sort of a hybrid role where you are sort of involved, or expected to do multiple things, but at the end of the day, we can get help. So who we really work with is, I mean, for example, if we're talking about externally, right? So we work with, for example, copywriters. We get them to help sort of write articles for our websites. We engage with video production studios to help us create videos. We engage with even influencers, so Instagram influencers. We call them key opinion leaders. To help push certain marketing messages as well. So although it's a lot of things to cover, but we usually work with external parties like this to help us as well, to sort of cover more ground.
So external party, like what you mentioned just now, they actually also did the digital marketing field, right? They are doing part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily in digital marketing field. So mainly those we partner with are probably content creators. That's what they call it, the more accurate term. So they create content for us, and and for us to use and display on our channels. So it's not necessarily they will be in digital marketing field. They're just basically creating content. Yeah.
Okay. So the next question: what are the qualifications that one need to enter this field?
Okay, so honestly, I don't think qualification matters as much. I think it's more of the attitude, right? Because I mean, just to share a bit, I sort of graduated from hospitality management, so it's something very different. Not even in marketing, right? But if you do look at JobStreet today, a lot of them who are hiring in this field, they will require maybe a marketing qualification and whatnot. But at the end of the day, because this digital space is evolving really rapidly, so in terms of qualifications, it doesn't really matter, because whatever you studied even 1 year ago, it's already no longer relevant. So it's a lot about attitude, your willingness to learn, your proactivity to actually um, read up on certain info and learn up, as you go along. So it's a learning process. So again, like I mentioned earlier, Google, is still my best friend. So whenever I'm not sure, you just jump to Google, and you'll be able to find answers there. So yeah, so it's a lot about attitude, not so much about qualifications in my opinion.
Hmm. Yes, because if like me, I'm studying in counseling, but now when I'm doing my event, I actually need the skill on. It's not really qualification, but also
Mm.
the skill on you promoting the event through the technology. Like you need to post the event on social media.
Uh,
So
yeah.
yeah, this is the next question. What are the important skill or knowledge that support the person to be success in this field?
Yeah, so
Uh,
so again, like I mentioned earlier, it's more on the attitude to learn, right? The ability to for you sorry, the adaptability, right? And the willingness to learn, because when you're in this field, for example, taking my experience into as an example, I've joined various industries like FMCG, all the way to insurance. So it's very different. It's totally unrelated field. So when you join that industry, it is very crucial that you go in and understand what that industry is doing. You research, you listen to what people are talking about within that industry. You learn the sort of the jargons, the keywords that they always use, and that's very important, because when people are in that field, when they're talking about these certain topics related to that industry, they want to be able to hear these kind of words that you're using that relates back to them. So again, adaptability and willingness to learn, I think it's key. The other one is because again, as I mentioned, the digital world is evolving so rapidly. I mean, in fact, I think Google releases some small changes every few months or so. The big changes only they will announce. That's probably like every year. But every few months they do make some changes to their algorithm, to their how they actually track certain things. And these are things that they don't actually announce openly. So these are things that you need to go and actually find out yourself, what's happening, what's the best way to approach a certain what do you call it, as a certain uh, content, or how do you reach out to people more effectively at the end of the day. So yeah, so these are things that I think is really important for you to be successful in this field.
mm, Before I jumping to the next question, actually in the beginning we already differentiate. We already know what is digital marketing. Then we
Mm.
move to the differentiate between traditional marketing and the digital way. Kevin also share a lot of idea with us, a lot of experience with us. Then we move to what is the qualification skill, like just now what we are mainly focused on. Yeah, um, we are not in now the trend, even we are using virtual everything, but not specifically you need the qualification or you need to study higher level, then you only can enter the field. You actually, like Kevin said, if you are accept to take it the challenge, your willingness to learn, and you start up with the zero, actually you can success in this field. Yes, Kevin.
Yep.
Yes.
Correct. Yep, that's correct.
Okay, but I believe a lot of people actually they have a misconception, like misunderstanding about the
Yes.
digital marketing. So, Kevin, do you have experience on that about the misconcept?
Yes, definitely. And a lot of times, right, people always sort of mix up digital and sort of IT. So they always think that, oh, you're in digital marketing, you should know how to sort of fix this website. This website is down. What do I do, right? This website has an issue. Yeah, that's a common misconception where people think digital means everything that is online has to do with you. So there is a big difference because ours is in marketing. So at the end of the day, it's still marketing. It's just using a different medium to market, right? So really disclaimer here: we're not IT people. I do not know how to code. I do not know how to develop an app or fix a website. So it's very, very different skill sets altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, so audience, you don't, next time you meet the marketing people, don't tell them, oh, you need to do IT way. So there is a different, okay? So
Right.
what is the additional role? Other than, okay, you are not the IT person, but I believe as a digital marketing people, they actually have a lot of role. So what do you think? Any additional role that you are handling?
Yeah. So a lot of times, I mean, the common ones you'll be playing is more of a consultant role. So different people from different, departments will come to you and ask for your insights. So you play a lot of consultancy role. But other than that, I mean, because in digital marketing, you actually support a lot of it's a support role. So you support a lot of different aspects in the company, right? So you a lot of times you need to also learn up and understand, for example, um, what are the customers talking about. So the other role that you most likely be playing is customer service. So you always be online and finding out what are customers talking about, what are their issues, how do you help solve it, because that ultimately helps you sort of create content as well. And then the other one would be, again, like I mentioned, creativity. So sometimes if you look at again, if you look in JobStreet, some of the roles in this uh, field, right, requires you to sort of have a bit of Photoshop skills or Illustrator skills. It comes hand in hand, because if you're able to create content, you're also be able to create visuals that would really benefit. So some roles might require you to do a bit of that, but I'm fortunate enough to not need to handle that. So yeah, I'm basically basically more on strategizing and content creation. So that's still okay.
Not bad, because one of my friend also, he is doing digital, but he need to do the design.
Yeah, yeah,
He need to know the PS, the Photoshop, the AI. Then that he telling me that it's a different. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. This is the question that I asked just now. So we pass this. Okay. How do you feel about it when you have to pick up something new that you're not familiar, like what we are sharing a lot of skill. So
Mm.
yeah, Kelvin, do you want to what? How do
Yeah.
you? Mhm.
Yeah, so basically, again, it's very common in this field. Everything is sort of new. Every few months you will encounter new things, because of how rapidly it changes. So again, Google is your best friend. So I cannot stop saying that, because everything is there, everything is out there. So it's just, again, a matter of how you utilize it, right? So yeah, so for me, it's quite kind of a common thing. And if something new comes along and I'm not sure with it, not sure how is it, it's just a matter of researching and taking a bit of time to understand it a bit better. So it's a fairly common thing. And I mean, if students who would like to join this field, it's good as well, because it actually offers you a fresh perspective every now and then. Instead of getting stuck at doing the same job every time. So it's actually quite challenging and at the same time exciting as well.
Because a lot of people, when they are facing the new thing, in the
Mm.
first thing come out is fear, and they have a lot of questioning. They already have the idea, oh, I cannot make it. But like Kevin said, everything, pick it, learn it, and search the solution and just do it.
Yep.
So yeah, I for sure a lot of people were asking the realistic question is like this: how's the rank for enter this field? The basic salary maybe.
That's a good question. Am I able to actually share my screen? How do I do that? Oh, over here, share screen.
Yes.
So okay, so I guess you're seeing my screen right now. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so JobStreet, we actually have this tool, we call it Career Insights, and I've actually prepared ahead of time, anticipating the question, right? So you can actually come in here and search on what sort of roles that you want to have a look at, and these are of course salary inputs by people, so you get to actually see what sort of salary this role is getting. So if you're looking at digital marketing executive, and I basically can filter across all locations, even specific locations within Malaysia, and years of experience. So let's go to 0 to 3. So a typical, I think the most common one is about 3,000, 2,009 to 3,000. So that would be the salary here for someone just starting out in digital marketing. Yep.
Wow, it's quite high salary for the basic for the first 3-year experience.
Correct. So a bit of disclaimer as well. It's probably depending on industries. So certain industries will pay you a bit higher, while certain industries will probably pay you a bit lower. So yeah.
Audience, did I helping you to ask the right question? So if you have any question, you remember we have a comment section, so you can write it down. Before we end up this my interview, I will, if you have question, I will pop up and see whether we can share our own opinion to you. Okay, so the next question, yeah. How's the working environment like, and how's working schedule like for this digital marketing?
Okay. So this one is actually really dependent on the industry you are at, and and also the company, right? At the end of the day, working environment, working culture, is depending on companies. So I mean, apparently, if you're in an agency where where clients come to you and sort of engage with you for social media services, for digital marketing services, I've heard that those people there sort of work round the clock, and some client side as well. I have friends who actually work quite long hours in the client side, especially when the campaigns coming up and you have to meet targets, right? But for me, I think I'm pretty fortunate to not have to work that long. So I can't really say, because I mean, from my personal experience, it has been good. So I mean, there's definitely work life culture, because I mean, as long as you prioritize the task at hand, you know what to set out first. Then, because again, a lot of times, once you have everything in place, right, it's a lot on monitoring, a lot on basically monitoring and tweaking. So again, it wouldn't sort of take a lot of time, but again, it probably is seasonal. So sometimes when you have projects coming up, you definitely probably need to put in a bit more hours. But yeah, so it varies across companies and industries.
It depends on the company and the industry, how they are setting, how's the environment, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the next question. Do you think is do you think is the most challenging thing being in this field? Do you have any big challenge that experience?
I think the biggest challenge here is, dealing with the constant changes of external parties. Because if you're, I mean, when you're in digital marketing, a lot of the dependencies are not on your side, so you are dependent on other people, other platforms. For example, like Google, like I mentioned, they make the changes every now and then. And especially like social media like Facebook, they are always tweaking their algorithms. Of course, in doing so, they're sort of benefiting, the general public. They want people to be able to use their platforms, in a better experience. But for us marketers, we will have to constantly, follow up with the changes, and find out what are the different changes that comes about. So I think that's the biggest challenge here for me, because again, like I said, the dependencies are not on our side. It's always on an external party, where we really have to, constantly read up and follow up with the changes that they do.
Mm. I would like to ask Kelvin, did MCO affect your work?
Actually, surprisingly not, because I think if for digital marketing, I'm not sure if you heard of this term. There are these people called digital nomads, where they literally live, across the sea. There's one article I read. These digital nomads, they're actually living their life in Bali, for example. They're in a nice beach resort and whatnot, but they're doing work for their clients, all the way in United States or even in Australia. So I guess in this field, you literally can work anywhere as long as you have a laptop, you have internet connection. That's fine. Because everything is online, everything is mobile. You can just go anywhere. So really, I think MCO did not really affect it. The only way it affected is probably, because now we need to communicate with teams through Zoom calls, and through over the phones. I mean, again, nothing beats physical face-to-face meets. So that's one thing that has changed. But other than that, everything else, it's online. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So like just now we already have challenge. Now what is the most attractive thing that still keeping you in this field?
That's a good one. I would say it's most probably the impact that I can create. While being in this field, that if you're creating something, it actually impacts quite a bit of people, right? If you see, because again, at the end of the day, everything is tracked. You can see how many people you have reached, and yeah, so it's actually amazing, uh, to be able to reach out to that many people, from doing what you do. So I think that's something that's actively keeping me in this field. The other thing is also, the flexibility and agility to execute ideas, because the natural, um, being in this industry is actually naturally you have to sort of adapt quickly. So and being in digital as well, again, as I mentioned, it changes really really quickly. So the flexibility and agility is there, or rather it is required. So it's something that I really enjoy, where again, I don't find it like I'm doing the same thing day in day out, and I get to really execute things really quickly, and then track the results. And at the end of the day, it's based on what impact that I create. So it's again, back to my first point. So yeah, so it can be challenging, but it comes with its rewards as well.
So
Yeah.
with this digital marketing field, do you have a most memory experience, like maybe you posting something wrong, so your consumer complain? Maybe I give the example. Do you have the
Okay.
very memorable experience that wow?
Actually, that's a tricky. I mean, there are a lot of these kind of things. It does happen, right? Like posting wrong things, and then next thing you know, the people on the internet, people on the internet can be nasty, right? So they will comment stuff. But I guess, I mean, memorable stuff, it would be sort of dealing with crisis online. So if we've had a few instances, I mean, I can't really share much on the brands itself, but when a crisis happens, when people are shooting your brand online, they take it to forums, they take it to all sorts of social media channels, their groups. So it gets really exciting where everybody, the management is jumping on you, everybody's just panicking, and you have to really be on real time tracking, monitoring, and finding out what are people talking about, what is the damage that has occurred, in terms of branding. So I guess, yeah, those are pretty exciting times, I would say, when a crisis actually happens. It's definitely not nice because I mean, back to just now your previous question, the working hours, right? So if a crisis do happen, we'll be working throughout the night as well, just to sort of monitor this. So it's not a pleasant experience, but it does comes with this, again, its excitements, to me personally. Yeah.
No matter it's a good experience, bad experience, but it's still there, which means this field is you feel comfortable with it, right?
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay, let me see whether I have another question. Yeah. Oh, okay. Before I end up, like what we are sharing just now is based on our view or based on our experience. It's not really like just now the memorable story that don't come and sue us or complain to us, because this the objective of doing this event for this virtual actually is more on our side, our career experience. So audience, see, if you have any question you would want to ask, you can ask in the comment so I can pop it before I end up our virtual event. So let me see whether I have any question. Yeah, I have one. Yeah, Jack Young. Do I have to be extrovert like you, like me, or like Kelvin? To be a digital marketer, I'm shy person, and this has been an issue for me. Are you looking for advice?
I think to answer Jeff here, right? I mean, I don't really categorize myself as an extrovert as well, but generally, I think regardless of your personality, you definitely can, again, it's down to your willingness to learn, right? So regardless of personality, I mean, personality has nothing to do with this role, basically. Yeah.
I believe some extrovert, or no matter it's extrovert or introvert, if you have the creative idea to write the caption, to write the content, so
Exactly. Yeah.
you can just write it. Maybe some of the designer, they are not extrovert, but they are clever on the designing the color so that they can design the nice poster, and they have the content, they post it, and the thing is work. So it's
Yeah.
no matter if you are extrovert or introvert, okay? Don't everyone have introvert and extrovert exactly. Okay, so another question from Crystal. Crystal say, if you were given the opportunity, will you wish to change another sector? Kevin, will you want
By
to change?
sector means industry, or by sector meaning, changing like a different role? Because I mean, if changing different role, I would say no. As in, like, I would still be sticking in digital marketing. But I mean, in digital marketing, it has actually evolved quite a bit for me. So for example, I was actually just sharing with Agnes just before we started the live show, right? That my role currently is I'm actually looking into recruiting students to join us, right, for in JobStreet. So I would be also providing sort of webinars to students to teach them to equip them with the skills to be able to do a job hunt next time, right, to equip them properly for their job search next time. So again, digital marketing has brought me here, and it's still pretty relevant, I would say. I mean, we're also using sort of digital marketing strategies to sort of approach and reach out to students. So um, I would say it changes accordingly. So digital marketing is always a hybrid role. We get to do a lot of things besides just what you see, like besides just going on social media and whatnot. So changing into another industry, I would say yes. I mean, I'm always open to check it out. So again, I've been moving to different industries since last time. So I mean, I came here right now, and I feel like this industry really again, back to what Agnes asked earlier. What motivated me to stay is a lot about the impact that I can create. So being in this industry, being in the job portal industry, again, it matches again, right? Because I get to create the impact again for students and the people that are sort of reaching out to JobStreet as well. So yeah, so it's pretty interesting industry, and I might be staying here for quite some time then.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
me actually, like what Kevin said, before we are start our life. Actually, we have a chat about our work area. So both of us, my side, I also helping the student to getting the job. To pump up their skill, and I guide them how to do the interview, and finally they get the job. So yeah, audience, do you have much more other question? Do you have any other question you want to ask before we close our live? So far, everyone okay? Today, our topic is more focused on our own experience, our view for the digital marketing. So maybe you have another view for that, you can share with me in the comment also.
Yep.
Yeah. Before I closing, I would like to ask you to give me the feedback so that we can improve our virtual event. Yeah, hold on. Okay. So this is the QR code. I hope audience you can scan the QR code and can give us the feedback so that we can improve our event next time. Before we do the closing, of course, I want to thank you, Kelvin, from JobStreet, to come and give us a very valuable, very good experience on digital field. Like beginning, we already know uh, your your site, your view, how you enter, what's your experience, what is your challenge, and why you still remain in digital here. Yeah,
Yep.
audience,
But,
don't be
yeah.
afraid to challenge because the trend, the new norm is coming, is already coming. Everyone is facing the different, but yeah, we still need to adapt and we need to learn and we need to survive. So yeah, thank you once again. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. I think it's actually I think this won't be the last time probably. Hopefully there'll be more that I can share with the students as well, right? But again, thank you for inviting us. Thank you for inviting JobStreet over for this session.
Yeah, before we end up, could you give maybe you can could you give those who wish to enter this field some advice?
Yeah, sure. So again, like what I mentioned, there's really nothing like I mean the barrier of entry to this field is not very difficult. Like you don't really need to, for example, like if you are let's say if you're an engineer, you probably need a qualification, in engineering, right? But for this field, I guess because it's also relatively new, there are some units providing this course. I'm not sure if SEGI has these kind of courses, but again, it's not necessary, I would say. It's more so, if you really want to enter this field, again, Google's your best friend. Search up on Google what are some of the best, marketing strategies online that you can use. Learn from all this. Try to adapt to it, and adapt to the brand that you are working for, you're handling. And yeah, so it's a lot about constant change. So be prepared for that. If you're someone who does not like change, who does not like these kind of challenges, then it's probably not for you. And that's fine, right? But if you are someone who thinks that you're up to this challenge, who likes a bit of creativity, likes to reach out to people, yeah, so this is something you can definitely look at. And although qualification doesn't really matter, it does help, for example, for you to secure an interview, right? The other thing is also on certifications. So there are a lot of certifications out there today that you can actually take, to sort of enhance the skills, and to prove that you are really interested in this. So for example, Google certification, you can take it for free. There are some paid courses online that you can take for social media, for let's say for Google AdWords, for in general, digital marketing, for SEO, SEM, these kind of things. So do look into it. I think the most important is being proactive, if you really want to be in this field.
Yeah, the most important thing is follow our, no matter it's Segi KL and JobStreet. We have the Facebook, we have IG. We also like JobStreet. They have apps for you to log in
Yep.
to do. So yes, audience, let's follow, subscribe our website, our social media, and any update for the coming event, we will update on our social media. So thank you everyone with us today. Listen our topic. So yeah, thank you, Kevin.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you everyone.
thanks
Bye.
everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye everyone. See you.